Hey, great day to y'all. I hope that y'all woke up super grateful to be alive again another day in this experience. Oh, you may wonder why I've got my books up. Well, there was a speaker challenge today, and they say when you're doing speaking that you should publicize your books. So I put my books up today to join this speaker challenge with a very world-renowned speaker, but you can't get in. And you can't see the free live event as advertised, so I'll leave it alone. But that's why my books are up, because I was just going to join the speaker challenge. Couldn't get in. So I expressed how I felt, and I left the group. Simple. Won't waste my time. I'll come out here and do what I got to do to the world and for the world. You know why? Because, hey, everything happens for a reason, you know. When I get blocked out of something, I don't question it. I really don't. Because everything works in our favor. Factually. And some people may think, well, hey, how does getting locked out of something you want to do work for your favor? Because if I'm not meant to go put my energy there, I'm not meant to be there. And no matter how I want to go, the universe will block me from doing certain things that I should not be doing. So I accept it for what it is, and that's how I govern my life. Yeah, any hiccup is for a reason. There's a reason attached to everything. I don't sit there with a, oh, why me? And let's talk about it today, about the ledge of knowing. You see that word knowledge? Do you realize that your ledge of knowing is your cap of comprehension? I want you to think about that for a minute. If you don't increase your knowing and your knowledge every day, you are capped. You're capped in your comprehension. Literally. And you know, I had mentioned it a couple of lives ago about knowledge. And it's the ledge of your knowing, and it puts you on a ledge. But when I did a deeper dive in consciousness and asked, okay, listen, how do I really make people understand that they must expand their knowledge and learn every day? And it was explained to me clearly that knowledge, unless somebody is expanding their knowledge every day, they're capping their comprehension of things. And I was like, that is such a great analogy. Yeah. You cap your abilities, you cap your comprehension. There's no expansion. It stunts your growth. Literally. Even as an individual on a daily basis. That's why, you know, don't get caught in a repetitive cycle of not learning. And we do that as adults. We think, okay, we've acquired as much as we're going to learn. And we run with it. And we govern our parenting on it. And we govern our daily events on it. And we govern how we show up in this world for ourselves and for others based on our knowledge. Our cap of comprehension. And a lot of people think, oh, well, you know, knowledge, you acquire the real knowledge from going to school and getting your PhD. Well, that's a crock of shit. Factually, you learn every day should you be open to the lessons. You see, you learn from people, and you learn from places, and you learn from things, and you learn from interactions and conversations. Yeah. And some may wonder, how is that possible? Well, people, you know, sometimes people act as reminders and lessons also. You know, you see somebody act in a certain way that doesn't settle with your heart, right? Well, that's a lesson for you, and it's also a reminder. You may wonder, how is that possible? Well, because it reminds you of how you could be. And that's where you got to be grateful that you're not like that. So you see somebody unhappy or you see miserable people, and we all do. We all do. People show up as their state of being and their circumstance More so than not nowadays. Yeah. And that's how you feel it on them. Because instead of working through all of this energetic bunk that they hang on to, they show up as the totality of their energy bunk. So all of their so-called problems and all of their so-called limiting beliefs about themselves and about others. Yeah. That's why, I just got to sit back and see people for who they are. And nothing but. And give them the free will to do so. But every person, place, and thing comes with a lesson attached. For me. And that's why, I don't take anything personally. Because it's all for my personal learning. My personal growth. Every single day. And I embrace that fully. I don't want to stay stuck and stunted in some cap of consciousness. Some cap of comprehension. Like, I know what chaos and conflict feels like. That's the last thing that I want to embody for myself. I definitely, when showing up in any way, shape, or form, I am not showing up as conflict or chaos. I am showing up as solutions, resolutions, thriving, growth, and seriously no cap of comprehension. What caps your comprehension is you think that you know it all. Yeah. You think that at your age there's nothing more that you can learn. Why? Because we've been told all of our lives that you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. It's bullshit. I'm going to share a video with you guys after about that I duetted with a 101-year-old veteran who's in the States. And he is actually he's written a book about World War II. His books are now being used as history books. He's 101. And he's still out there in the world doing things actively. So not only, when he talks about D-Day, and it really hit home with me because my grandfather fought overseas for 5 years, and he was there in the day of the liberation of World War II. And my grandfather also assisted one of the families that was there throughout many, many years after, and he went back every year to celebrate. So it really touched my heart that at 101, this man is out there teaching about the history. And this is why, yes, you can teach an old dog new tricks. It just takes them a little longer to get it, maybe. But I encourage everybody, embrace every day and get as much learning out of it as possible. Don't stay stuck in any situation, circumstance, or any feeling that you may have. The more that you get to know about your energy and emotions and pushing past limitations or what limiting beliefs are, because we all have them, well, that cap of comprehension is also limiting. Should you stay stuck believing that you're not smart enough, or you're not capable enough, or you have a disability learning somehow? No, everybody learns differently. Everybody learns differently. Me personally, I got to go through the experience to learn it. I can't go over it, can't go around it, can't go under it. I'm like, head on, let's do this. I got to learn. No matter what it is. I don't sit there and beat myself up no matter what I've got to live. No. Because my cap of comprehension has been dissolved. And I don't keep a ledge of knowing. Break through that. It's a limiting belief. Limits you in everything you think, say, and do. repetitive patterns of limitation within your mind that have been on repeat subconsciously that you're not even aware of. Imagine that, eh? Isn't that the bunker? Just like you're not aware of how this programming operates every one of your systems, well, you are also unaware of your beliefs running on repeat also. Just as much as that energy is running all your organs, well, it's running your mind too. That's why it's important to do the inner work and tackle what's going on in your mind, because none of that exists anymore except for in your own belief system that it does and it did. Imagine how differently you'd be programmed today as if for the first 2-3 years of your life, you were continuously told everything's for learning and you're magic and you can make anything happen should you believe it to be real. Well, I highly doubt that you would believe that you're anything less than a magical universal being and that you can make anything happen. So all these beliefs that you've been running on repeat have been installed from what everybody told you. Everybody. Your mom, your dad, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your siblings, your grandparents, no matter who it is. They all had an input on your programming that runs subconsciously. Imagine. And now as adults, how many of these people you can look at in your life and say, oh boy, they're not very solid, or oh boy, I gotta watch this about them, or oh boy, I gotta, because you know what pushed me to do the inner work the most is when I realized how fucked up everybody was around me that programmed me. Obviously, I would have been fucked up too. You see? This is why I said, no. I need to rid myself of that programming and recondition my mind. Yeah, and I did it. What I think, I don't even think. So what I feel today about myself is unlike I have ever felt before about myself. Why? Because every day is a brand new day. You're a brand new person no matter what. Factually. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what happened in your life. What do I mean? Look, if you wake up today telling yourself that you're a traumatized being and that you're broken and that you're depressed, or that you are not where you want to be in your life when you are exactly where you should be. Yeah. And if you're sitting there today telling yourself that, oh, I wish I didn't have to live this, or I could have done this, or filtering through regrets, understand that whatever you put as a part of your today, that's what you're creating. And it has nothing to do with what you've already lived. You see, we run on patterns until we realize the patterns. And then after that, it becomes a choice. And it's facts. So until you realize what patterns you're running on subconsciously that you are unaware of, because that happens too, just as if you're not focused on how your central nervous system's running, it is just operating and you're feeling the effects of it. Just like you do not have to focus on your breathing. You're not aware of your breathing patterns and everything that has to go on within your body. When you need to go to take a piss, you think that you focused on your kidneys and the functioning and the breaking down and the creation of all that waste to eliminate? Nope. You weren't aware of it. Why? Because you're not focused on it. Why? Because it's an automatic program. Well, that's how your subconscious brain is working too. So every thought you're thinking, actually, let me break it down to even lower than that. Every idea, which then you put your life force into transmuting it into a thought. And then from that thought, you take that thought and power it with your life force again into something that you're speaking. Yeah. So that's twice you've put your life force into what you're about to spit out of your mouth. Factually. These thoughts and ideas are produced from that subconscious brain that's running automatically on a pattern that you are not aware of. And a lot of people at my age, they've been telling me lately, oh, I know myself. Oh, fuck, no, you don't. Especially if you're running on a pattern of repeat that everybody else installed but you. Imagine that. And a lot of people tell people, oh, that person's fucked up. No, they're not. Their programming was fucked up, which can be corrected. And this is why I believe that everybody can change. It's a simple choice. Why do we have weaknesses? Well, because others that raised us installed their weaknesses in us. Factually, by their belief system. And the treatment you received. And there's so much of life that has happened since that you really don't know what's underneath all of that running on repeat. Unless you look at it. Seriously. Like if I told you right now to put your focus on your foot. Well, put your focus on your foot. You feel it? I can guarantee 100% you didn't before you put your focus there. This is what I'm talking about. The body runs naturally, in perfect design, automatically, on its own, so you do not have to worry about it. Where you put your focus is where you put your attention, which is where you're going to feel the effects. So what you need to do is turn the focus from what everybody else is doing around you to how am I feeling? What patterns am I running on? Self-awareness, self-accountability, radical responsibility. Because unless you do that, there's zero change. You're running on repeat. Factually. When you can choose yourself to be whoever you want to be for your day, well, I would highly suggest and encourage you all not to bring anything from yesterday in there. So what do I mean by that? Okay. You may have lost control. You had an emotional reaction yesterday. Your day didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to. Well, today, don't let that happen again. That's all. When you don't feel good about something, or when you know you've fallen short, because we all do, life circumstances, unless you're completely mastered walking around this earth in a neutral state, well, then you are being thrown around by it. Factually. So you need to start giving yourself that grace like you extend to others and take a look at what patterns you're running on. Yeah. All those patterns that were installed by somebody else. Factually. That are running on repeat, that are producing all of your thoughts and your ways your speech, and your results in your life. You don't become in total control of your own results in your life until you've cleaned up what everybody else has put in your fucking head. Simple. Because you're producing the exact results in your life today correlated to what everybody else installed in you. And this is why it's very important to push past any kind of limits, any kind of beliefs, but you got to get right with them. Well, I know how to get right with them. And I also have very targeted ways that you can get right with yourself too, should you choose that. Because unless you do, you are literally running on repeat from what everybody else put in there but you. Yeah. And that's why I was like, nah, man. When I realized all of this with learning and learning and learning and learning and learning, I was like, yo, seriously? I'm the way I am because of this. Look how fucked up these people are. But they're all blaming me for being fucked up? Oh boy, time to delete. That's the unlearning process. You gotta unlearn all the shit you've been taught. But you can. And you can turn your hell into heaven and become your best you and wise up to rise up and all that, you know? Should you choose to. But guys, you know, I encourage you all to do it because it rejuvenates your being factually. I feel like I'm getting younger by the day. My face is healing. I can't be more grateful than I am right now for what I've done for my own being. And I'm grateful to have expanded my knowing and my consciousness every single day by choice. I don't want to be capped at consciousness. Listen, you know that your knowledge, your level of knowledge, well, that's as much as you can understand or comprehend or take in. Yeah. So, wouldn't you want to understand, wouldn't you want to overstand it all? Wouldn't you want to comprehend everything? Well, that's what I want for myself and for everybody else too. See, the knowledge that I've tapped into, there is no cap of comprehension. And this is why I talk about it. And you know, everybody has it within them. It's not just me that has it. Everybody is tapped into this consciousness. Everybody is tapped into this knowledge. Yo, Bruno, let's go, bro. Yo, love ya. So, seriously though, knowledge caps you at your comprehension. Fuck them all, woohoo. No, I'm not gonna fuck any of them until I get the right one up in my bed. Ah, shit. And then it's on. Woo! Yo, I got locked out of that Lisa Nichols legendary speaker challenge stuff. What a scam. Anyway, I'll say it. It's all a fucking scam. All of these, it's a scam. She's not a scam, but clearly that event was. Anyway, it's all good. But, yo, your knowledge keeps you capped at comprehension. Say it like it is, my bro. That's why I love you. Yeah, you know what? I love you too. And yes, I will say it like it is. Listen, you know what? All of these anyway, see what I mean? I know when Spirit says, yo, hold that tongue for a minute, you know. You've said enough about that already. All right, I obey. But honestly, push past any kind of limit of knowing. Question everything you're told, question everything you do, question everything you think, and question everything you say. Bro, can I show up? Oh, you coming in? Yo, at the bottom of the screen, there's a request to join. There's like that little icon of the head, and then there's the little picture at the side. If you tap that, I'm going to get an alert that you want to join me live. And I'll bring you on. There we go. Yes, we are bringing on Bruno. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, hold on. Go away there, that slow connection thing. Accept. Add.
Yo, bro, what's
Oh
up?
my gosh, you're all cleaned up. Oh, I
Yes.
love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you, my bro. Thank you.
Yo, see, now you're shining. Now you are shining. Never hide behind all that hair anymore. That is awesome.
I don't hide behind the
I
hair.
love
I just
it.
like to look like a lion.
Yeah, but I love it. I love it. How you doing, my bro?
You okay, bro? I love it, bro.
Yo,
Yo, I
I
wanted
went.
to show up.
Hey?
I wanted to show up, have a convo with you, bro.
Yeah, sounds good. You know, I was supposed to be on that Lisa Nichols or whatever, her legendary speaker challenge today, and for 5 days, can't even get into the thing. So I
Yeah,
was like, I left the group, I left the chats. You know me already, eh? If it's not go, 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 it's no, no, no.
yeah. Toby, look, I'll come back in a minute. I'll have to go now for like 2 minutes because my father is downstairs and I have to go help him like get some stuff. Okay, but
Oh,
I'll come back in like a minute or two. Okay.
okay, so you want to come back and join? So I should stay out here shooting the shit until you come back?
Sorry, my
All
bad.
right. Tell your
I'll
dad I
come.
said hi.
Okay.
Go get her done. Tell your dad I said hi. All right. So Bruno will be back with us after, but look, this is why it's important to keep learning every day, because if not, it caps your comprehension. Actually, so don't sit there thinking that your education is based on what you've acquired in school, because you've learned more out of life than you've learned ever in school. Actually, by experience, by interactions, situations, things that you have acquired for yourself. Our learning doesn't end. Every problem that arises in your life is actually an opportunity for learning. And if you don't take the opportunities to learn out of anything that arises, well, then that's when we get stuck in repetitive cycles of it, because we're not grasping the learning. So a perfect example of it is, well, Toby, I keep landing these really, really just messed up jobs and I can't seem to find the right one for me. Okay, well, you've capped your comprehension about yourself to the point that those are the jobs you think you must apply for to begin with. Why aren't you applying for the big wig jobs that you know that you're valid and worthy of and experienced for? When we're settling for things that aren't meant for us, yes, we feel it. Of course we do. And we're settling to get less out of our days than we humanly can. Well, yes, we feel the effects of that. When we stay stuck thinking that we are incapacitated in any shape, way, or form, you can't do something, well, yeah, that's the effects you're going to feel in your life. You know, when you start become, what's up? Just dropping by. I'm off to Chateauguay. Love you, sister. Joe, I love you too, Guy. I'm really happy to see all that stuff. I'm really sorry I can't come out and partake, but my heart has put serious restrictions on me lately in the past week. But that's okay. I got to take it easy now so I can enjoy later. But I love everything that you do, and I love you. And I'm really grateful that you're posting all that stuff because I get to enjoy it all through you. Thank you. I love you, bro. Love you, love you. Have an awesome day. Make the magic happen. I'm happy to see you. Yeah, guys, look, if you guys don't know about Guy, you know, Shamrock TV, and he just did all kinds of amazing things in this world for St. Patty's Day and, you know, bringing smile. And you know what that does for people? It brings hope back to people's lives. You know, and we all need that. We all need a little hope that things will get better or we will feel better, but we also have to take the steps to do it. And you know, no matter what he's got going on in his life, he's still doing out great things. Well, no matter what I have going on in my life, I'm still out here doing great things for the world. And you can too, should you choose that. No matter who you think you are or what knowledge you may think you have, break that barrier of knowledge. Don't stay stuck believing things that aren't true about yourself, primarily. What do I mean by that? Well, do you know that everything you believe about yourself today is put there from somebody else? You're running on a repetitive pattern of what everybody else believed about you. And you're not even aware of it because it's running automatically, subconsciously, like the same way you're breathing, digesting, central nervous system functioning, your five senses are functioning. Well, everything that was installed in you about what you believe about you is put there by somebody else. And these beliefs stop us from having what we truly believe, what we really can have. What do I mean? We were always told as kids, money doesn't grow on trees. You got to break your back to make that buck. Factually, you don't. Money is a frequency. So, frequency of money is 888 hertz. Well, if you're living in shame, blame, guilt, denial, judgment, non acceptance, all of that shit buckled with fear, how the fuck you bringing in money easily? You can't. It's a frequency. So you fix your energy and you fix your life. You can make anything happen. You can attract anything you need or want on the planet, but you cannot pull money easily to you at a hertz of 888 if you're living in an energy frequency of shame, blame, guilt, denial, trauma, pain, suffering, guilt. It's a total contradiction. That's why you got to break your back for the buck. That's why it's so hard to bring in the buck. Because it's a frequency, it's an energy. Money is energy. Money is currency, current, to flow to. It is a frequency. Money flows freely to me on a daily because I embody a hertz higher than that every day. A conscious knowing. 963 minimum for me every day. So money is a lowered frequency than what I'm operating at. So that's why money, it always is coming to me freely because I'm a magnet for money. Why? Because I embody a frequency that is higher than money. So money has never been hard for me to acquire. Money will never be hard for me to acquire. Why? Because I embody a higher frequency, which contains zero shame, zero blame, zero guilt, zero judgment, zero denial, zero trauma, zero pain, zero suffering, zero, zero, zero of that shit. I am tapped into my thriving force, my highest potential that runs everything in my subconscious. So therefore, anything that I want is possible, no matter what it is. Yeah. So I encourage everybody to put the focus on themselves for a little bit and look and be quiet with yourself and let your soul show you, because it will, if you allow it to. You see, and that's the problem. People override what their soul is telling them on a daily basis according to their beliefs. I'm going to tell you guys all again today. Every one of the belief systems that you are running on subconsciously, automatically, has been put there by somebody else until corrected. I encourage you guys all to check what systems have you been programmed with? Because if I asked you today what kind of device you were running on with your phone, you'd be able to tell me. So I'll ask you today to take a look at what program you are operating on as a human being. Take a look at all the belief systems that have been installed in you by somebody else. Take a look at it. Take a look at the people that have been in your life that have installed these programs in you. Yeah, take a look. Have the courage to do that, because that's the flipping point, eh? The minute you have the courage to face all of that is the minute you can easily, in a blink of an eye, intentionally remove it all. And then you reinstall some belief systems that are healthy, that are empowering, and you can make the magic happen. Literally. How do I know? Look at my face. My face is moving. There is no half paralyzed face on Toby anymore. That's what tapping into your highest potential of your being is. That's where all the magic happens. That's where you can make everything and anything possible. Why? Because that is already making everything and anything possible for you today. It's just you need to go in there and clean out the junk that other people put there from their cap of comprehension of their own life and of their own being. See, it all intertwines. Knowledge is your cap of comprehension. That's as much as you can comprehend, is as much as you know. Well, when you get past all of those unhealthy things that people have installed in you, belief systems, and they didn't do it intentionally. They did it not knowing any better. Well, now you know better. Well, if you're a person like I am, which knows better today, and you look at your family and you look at the people around you and you look at everything that you've grown up in, and you stand there today like I do, and oh boy, these people all need a wake-up call or some correction, or because that's what I think half the time, eh? Or, oh boy, oh, that's very unhealthy. That, well, guess what? They've all had a part of programming you. All of them. That's when I had to do the cleanup for myself, is when I pushed past my cap of comprehension about who I was and how I was operating. Self-mastery is key if I wanted to save my life, eh? Self-mastery is key if I wanted to get my face functioning again fully, like I said about a month ago, that it would happen in a month. And everybody's questioning me, going, Tobi, business. Bitch, I'm healing. Yo, Bruno, you're back. You want to jump on? All right, let's do this. Guys, Bruno's going to hop on with me and we're going to have a chat. Okay, it's not letting me, Bruno. It says that it's technical issues. So request to jump on again. Bruno, you got to request to jump on again. Yeah, it says you can't join because of technical issues. So I don't know what's going on your end, bro. But yeah, weird. I don't have the request button. Yeah, but I went in and I just invited you, bro. I can't even add you. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? Wait, let me leave and come back. You know what? I'll shut down this live and we'll go live together. Okay? Because it could be that too. So I'll wrap up this live and then I'm gonna go live with Bruno and have a chat. Okay, so guys, look, the biggest change for me, factually, was taking a look at the programming that I continue that one. Okay, cool. I'm going to jump you back on. Go out and come back in. So the biggest changes that I had to make for myself, and if I didn't do these changes, I would have never saved my life. Yes, I got the request. I'm going to get you on. Yes, it's adding you, Bruno.
Let's fucking go.
Yo.
What's up, bro? Can you see me properly? Can you see me?
I can see you, and I really like that you cleaned up, man. I love that clean-cut look. That's just something about Tobi, eh? Tobi really appreciates a man who's clean-cut. There's just something about how they show up. You know, trust me when I tell you, what really gets me going is to see one of those construction looking types with their work boots and everything, and they're fucking filthy like they just came out of a barn, but they're clean cut. That is just like, woo, take it home, mama. Oh yeah, big time.
So what are we talking about?
Oh, I'm
I just jumped
talking
on.
about all kinds of things. Today I was talking about knowledge and how it's a cap of comprehension. That's why I'm encouraging people to push past their cap of comprehension and to learn as much as possible every day, but learn about themselves.
Interesting. So okay. So you said like knowledge is the cap like CAP.
Yeah.
Is it like the end? Like does knowledge stop people from comprehending,
Well,
or are you saying like if
their
people?
level of knowledge is their limit of understanding.
Yeah, true.
So
Absolutely.
that caps their comprehension as well.
Yeah, there's levels. It's like awareness.
Yeah. So that's
why absolutely.
I'm like, people, you gotta push past it. Why do people believe that they can't learn at this age? Because they've been made believe that.
Yeah, people are raised dumb. They're taught dumb. You know, like that's the thing. You know, like I'm about to blow all your motherfucking minds. Like, you know, like it's like you're born and stuff, and you know, like you don't even choose what you want. You know, like you are raised in a house, you have no idea where it is. You know, you go to a school you didn't even choose to go to. You are assigned a name you don't even choose. You are, you know, like everybody chooses everything for you, and then guess what? You know, like you sleep in a box when you're a kid, right? Like a square. You sleep in a box. You're taught inside of a box. Like you know, like, you know, your office is a box. Everything about like what people do is a goddamn box. And
Yeah.
that to the subconscious means a lot, right? When people live continuously inside boxes, there's that becomes their safety. So everything that means, and that's the thing, that's an ego trip. The ego loves that, right?
Yeah, but the ego keeps us safe. It keeps us
Yes,
in
exactly.
survival,
Absolutely.
right? It
Yeah.
doesn't, it's not trained for success. That's the problem.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, it's like I love that. I love that you said that because on the group, on the Free Love Spirit Tribe group, I literally just made a post. I just wrote something because you know, I think I told you like my Wi-Fi was down for like 4 or 5 days, right? I could because like in like we're in Ramadan right now where I am, right? So there was no coffees, there was no nothing open, right? So I was bored as hell every single day, and plus I had another family problems and stuff, and so I had to do different stuff to distract myself, and it still didn't kind of work. And so I was left with the Bible, my thoughts, my body, and the gym, right? And it forced me to go within, right? It forced me to go deep within, and yeah, and so what I understood was that like, okay, so let's just say that when you're fearless with what you want and then you achieve it, when it's finished, like I feel like the ego, like the obviously the enemy of the ego is the spirit, right? You have spirit or ego. Ego keeps you with earthly attachments. Spirit is basically our true nature, right? And so I feel like ego is like that fake friend, right? That tries to push you like something like that tries to push you away for what you know you're capable of, right? But knows that eventually you're going to push past that, right? So it's not about how, it's not about like, it's not about if, it's about when. But the longer the ego can like prevent you from doing something, because you're eventually going to do it, right? But as long as the ego can prevent you from doing just that, right? So, and it's all about preventing. And when it comes to divine timing, when it comes to timing, if the ego is able to withstand our will and our desires for long enough by like right with fear, with anxiety, with adrenaline, with panic, with everything, right? But believe it or not, that divine timing or that timing can literally, it vanishes,
Yeah,
right?
you know why it does all that though to us? It's
Why?
our
Why?
self-preservation mechanism to keep us safe. So what does that mean exactly? It keeps us in the law of least effort because our body has so much to do already that if
Yeah.
you have conditioned your body to run on a repetitive pattern the same way every day. So what does that mean? Well, believing you are who you are, believing your limitations, believing everything that you have up until now. Well, your ego is your self-preservation mechanism to keep you running like that because that is what consumes the least effort for you to do.
Yeah.
That's all.
Facts.
So that's why people have to break free of it because we have the energy to make the changes. When people understand that the ego is just there to force us into patterns that are just easiest for us to do. So if somebody's gotten used to not doing anything for themselves for a repetitive pattern or escaping their reality for a repetitive pattern or allowed themselves to be in the state of stress or survival for a repetitive pattern, well, that's the easiest for them to continue to do then. So the
Yeah.
ego will lock them into that, even if it's
Hmm.
unhealthy, because
Yeah.
that's
It,
the pattern that they've chosen for themselves.
yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, it's very. I feel like you know. I feel like you. I feel like you believe that as well. Obviously, it's like you said, right? We function. We we are pattern creation human beings, right?
Yeah.
For example, you know, like, and that's the thing. The better we can adapt software and, for example, mechanisms of software Like, for example, the stock market. How are you going to be able to, like, nobody knows if the stock is going to go up, down, in circles, or fucking sideways, or up their mom's ass. Like, nobody knows, right? Like, but it functions in what? Patterns. Because we function in patterns as well, right? And so I feel like the more we can adapt certain types of behavior in software, because we have them as well, and it's going to seem natural. Like, the more something seems familiar to us, the more we are going to be able to understand it. Even if we have to associate certain things, just that sense of familiarity already gives us that comfortability, right? Because that's why when something is completely new, majority of people don't even think about diving in, right?
Yeah. Because the brain also too, the subconscious brain is going to force them back into their beliefs. This is why these talks come up to talk us out of things all the time. That's their ego and their belief systems trying to keep them in a repetitive pattern, because that's the law of least effort, even if it's destructive for them.
Yeah. Because, and it's interesting because, like, people would like a lot of people would much rather keep themselves on the unfamiliar, like on a familiar, feeling or sensation, even if it's shit. Because, like, I feel like when it comes to control, there's so many things that people won't control. They want to, like, people want to control the things they shouldn't, and they don't want to control the things they can.
You know what's crazy, Bruno? People nowadays don't even realize how shitty they're feeling until something great happens to them.
Yeah,
to disrupt
because,
that
like,
pattern within them.
You know what I feel like? I feel like people just need reasons,
Yeah.
I feel like people just need reasons. I feel like people just need confirmations. But I think some people are just so insecure within themselves, and that's something people can totally work on,
They've only
right?
been programmed like that because of their parents' insecurities, because of the fear-based decisions, because of what everybody else made them insecure about. We're not born insecure. We're not born fearful. We're not born with limitations. So all of this shit has been installed in us by other people. So you got to take a look at these other people to know what your programming is, and then say, oh, does my shit need some correction? Because if somebody's standing there looking at these other people going, holy fuck, they need some correction, they don't even realize these are the programs they're running on.
No, yeah, true. Not true. But I just feel like it's like I was telling you, right? Like, I agree with 100% with what you're saying, 100%. I agree 100% with what you're saying. But I feel like it's more than that. It's like, it's that idea that, like, they get a confirmation and then they're like, oh yeah, but this, and then, like, people continuously find reasons and reasons and reasons, right?
Of course.
And so it's the same thing with gratitude if you think about it. It's like a lot of people, like, like, I feel like people want perfect confirmations, right? Because they're not ambitious, they're insecure, right? And there's a difference between ambition and insecurity. There's a big difference, right? One thing is wanting to have what they have, one thing is desiring something, right? Because they're actually ambitious and they feel like that's their life purpose, at least at that point in time, right? Even if something changes in the future, at least now they're kind of, not sure of it, but they have an idea about it. Another thing is being insecure and wanting all that because everybody wants it as well. And everybody is insecure with what they have and what they don't have because some do and some don't and whatever. And people don't even know how to appreciate things anymore, right? Simple.
Well, I mentioned it a little bit earlier on the live, and I noticed that you weren't on the live before, but I said it. Look, people that want things in their life and they want more money and they want all of this stuff, well, look, people that are struggling financially right now, when there's enough money in the world for everybody, hey, Dina, love you. Love you, love you, love you. Would love to do a live. Would love to do a live with you, Dina, and talk lots about sex, and more sex. Guys, if you guys need a sex coach to liven up your life, check out Dina Alexander. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What a G.
So, you know what I mentioned before on the live, Bruno, was this. You know, people are having financial difficulties, yes, and they're striving to make money, but they believe in their head that they got to break their back for it, so then they end up doing that. And money is a frequency, eh? 888 hertz. So if somebody's living in fear, shame, blame, judgment, guilt, denial, that's programmed in them by everybody else but them, they're never going to achieve those financial goals that they want to without ridding themselves of all of those limiting beliefs that were put there by everybody else. You can't be being an abundant being if you're sitting in shame, blame, guilt, denial, and all these limiting beliefs and in that box you're talking about.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that you said that because it's like sacrifice is real. Like, you know, like you just have to like there are just certain there's a version of you, like everything you desire is on the other side. Why? Why is it on the other side? It's not on the other side of what you want. It's on the other side of what you are. Because it all starts with you. You have to become that, right? So if you want to make $1 million, if you want to have $1 million, right? How are you going to have $1 million if you don't know how to make $1 million? What, are you going to play the lottery? Fuck off. That's never going to happen. You're not going to make $1 million on the lottery, right? Because you have to be.
The easiest way to attract $1 million is to walk around already feeling like $1 million and feeling like you have it already. Then you'll have that million very easily because the brain's job is to make it real for you.
Absolutely. But, you know, I'll tell you what, though. I will tell you what, though. For example, it is said that, you know, like, if you do something every single day for like 2-3 hours or 1 hour or whatever, the same thing every single day. Wait. No. I can't now. I can't talk now. Não posso falar agora. Espera aí, então. Wait 1 second. Sorry, my bad. No, it was my father. He needed something.
Okay.
No, but anyways, isn't it? No, but anyways, so as I was saying, right? So what was I saying? Do you remember?
Yeah, well, we were talking. I got distracted too, and my mind went everywhere else. But we were talking about the box, and you had just said about pushing at the patterns. We were talking about patterns. You know me already. I speak from the heart, not from the head. I don't record it.
That's okay. No, that's all right. That's okay. Sorry. No, anyways, yeah. So we're talking about like making $1 million. We have to become that frequency, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so, and as I was saying, so if you want to become if you want to become the top, you know, like person in your industry, you don't have to like go, you know, like to all the events in the world, right? You just have to take 2-3 hours of your day, or 1 or 2, whatever time it is, right? And you have to practice every single day for a year, and then you'll become better than 95% of people in your field. Because honestly, that's how I did with my speaking. Like, that's how I practiced my speaking every single day for a year, right? And every single day I spoke for some hours, right? And I just reflected about the world, and I draw my own conclusions, and I make my own thesis, you know, and I make whatever. And I became fucking great. And I know I'm one of the best I know I'm one of the best speakers in the world because I don't need a script. This is unscripted, right? And so that's really what it is.
So what makes you a great speaker, Bruno, is that you speak from the heart, authentically you. That's what makes you a great speaker. Is that
and you see that
you don't come out with a script trying to portray you're somebody you're not.
Yeah, like, you know, it's just funny because like this is the difference between a job and a passion. When it comes to speaking, right? This is the difference between something that is not authentic and you're trying to memorize word by word, like you're in school and you have a test that you didn't study for, right? And you're literally trying to pass like as much as you can, right? And it's stressful. Or you speak from the heart, right? And you're authentic and you say like it is and fuck everybody, right? And fuck them all.
Yeah, for
And that's what it
sure.
is, right? And you see, it's like, and I feel like that's really what the world is lacking is somebody or some people, right? Is either a person or a group of people that really says it like it is. Because like even
Even what? I'm listening to
oh
you.
okay. Because like even the people like for example even in politics, which I don't want to get much into it, fuck that, but even in politics, like people are desperately needing somebody who says it like it is because people are tired of defending people that are in power and just don't fucking say it like it is, right? Nobody wants to defend people. Nobody wants to follow somebody who don't speak for their people. Nobody. That's just nobody. The fuck wants that, right? And that's why a lot of people look. That's why a lot of people, when you look at some people speaking, they're like, "Fuck this guy. It's not what we want. I just wish I could be there and I could say it." And obviously, I have an opinion about that. Obviously, they're not there because they're not that qualified anyway, and whatever. And maybe if they were, they wouldn't say it as well. Because one thing is being on the side, one thing is being on the audience, right? And being like, oh yeah, I totally say that. And another thing is being on that place and talking to everybody. Not everybody has the balls to fucking do that, right?
I
And
totally
so,
am not into politics whatsoever.
no, but that doesn't matter. What I'm saying is like, when it comes to speaking, and we started this conversation because of the $1 million, right? So that's the thing, right? Like there has to be some sort of backup action that proves to you because like as human beings, I feel like we love proof. It's like every single day for a parent to maintain, we have to reassure ourselves, right? For a parent, look, to know that we are alive. For example, I'll give you an example. We have different, you know that we have different parents. But the main
You
parent
have different what? I can't hear you. Different
sorry,
what?
my bad. You know that we have different patterns.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
people don't even realize they're on until they look
Yes.
at them.
Absolutely. You're 100% agree with you. You're correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we have different patterns, right? And the main pattern we have is what is the pattern that proves to us that we are alive, right? And so there's certain things like, for example, what is the number one thing in the pattern of that proves that you're alive, is waking up,
Yeah.
right? And so we know,
But half
but wait a second, let me
the
finish.
people wake
But
up and they're still dead inside. That doesn't mean they're alive, eh? Being alive
yeah,
is really
sure. But in a physical sense,
okay, yeah.
they can see, they can touch. Like their senses are working. Like they know that they're not dreaming because when people are dreaming, either people are very aware of their dreams, which you can be, and you can actually have your senses, right? And why do people just a little apart? Why do people like say that? Oh, that dream felt so real. That dream felt so real because they could almost touch it, they could smell it, they could see it, right? Almost like a lucid dream, right? The dreams people don't remember is the dreams people don't even remember having their six senses activated with it, right?
Well, what
And
people
so,
don't realize is that they're actually living those dreams. That's why they
yeah,
seem
in the
so
actual,
real.
yeah,
It's just some people remember them more or not. They feel real because they are.
yeah, in the astral plane, absolutely, absolutely. But
In the
you
astral
see, it's
plane,
like,
and let's not brain fuck too many today with that subject. Because they're at a cap of comprehension that would not get it.
yeah, no, absolutely. But it's just like it's just the only thing I'm kind of like saying with it is that like we live in automatic patterns,
Yes.
right? That a lot of people are not aware of.
Yes.
And the main one is that the pattern of life. So is the one that proves that we are alive. So the number one thing that happens is waking up. and then is every single
Cheers to
thing
that.
we choose that, absolutely. And then every single thing we do
Yeah.
that have to do with us, right? And
They run
so
automatically without even realizing it. They are so automatic that they get up every morning, do the exact same thing. In other words, get out of bed the same way, put their slippers on the same way, trudge to the bathroom the same way, take a piss and shit the same way, make their coffee the same way, brush their teeth the same way, do nothing different.
yeah,
That's how
absolutely.
repetitive people are, and they don't even realize it.
But look, you're right. But the point that I want to get across here is that what, for a parent to maintain, you have to do it. You have to keep doing it. But what is that?
Yeah.
That's reassurance. You're reassuring yourself that
Yeah.
that pattern is maintained.
Yeah.
So the same way you reassure a toxic pattern, you also reassure a positive one, right?
Yeah.
No matter how you do it.
Yeah. And you know what the best way to disrupt any pattern is?
I have an idea, but please proceed.
Looking at it and questioning it, because then you automatically have disrupted the pattern by even looking at it. Putting your focus on it
Self-reflection.
disrupts it. It's like putting a stick in a wheel.
Yeah, like you're talking about like self-reflecting about it?
Yeah, no, yeah, but no, like bird's eye view, radical responsibility, self-accountability, going, whoo, let me check this out. And really being self-aware down to watching yourself have the life experience without you living it. That's what
You know, I
I
feel
had to
like
do to
no,
look at my
like
patterns.
I feel like you'll agree with this. I feel like people say like, oh, I don't have any control over my life, and I'm like, bro, you give away that
Well,
control
you
because
know what
like,
it is actually? It's because the power of the energy of your being is more in control of you, 95% in control of you because of all the systems it has to run. So the people that express that they don't have any power over their being, it's because they haven't owned any of the power of their being.
mm,
You see, when you're
yeah,
running from your highest potential, that means you're running from that power that's operating every one of your systems.
mm, yeah,
So when somebody says they have no control or they feel powerless, it's because they're powerless to their own repetitive patterns on repeat and the own power of their being. From what? Because their ego has to keep them safe from tapping into this kind of power because it'll destroy them if they don't know how to use it right.
yeah.
That's
You
fact.
see, like, you know what, like, I think when it comes to emotions, because that's honestly at the end of the day, that's all. That's because money. Look, like, when if we talk about money, money is spiritual, right? People say money is not spiritual. Money is totally spiritual because when we talk about fears and fears about money, that's spiritual. Fear is spiritual. Anxiety is spiritual. Adrenaline is spiritual. Pleasure, happiness, chemicals of brain,
Actually,
it all
no.
involves spirituality.
No. I'm going to disagree with you right there. Nothing of that is spiritual. Spirit only knows love, thriving, perfect design. All of that shit is man-made. None of that
Yeah.
is infused in spirit. None of it.
No, no, okay.
None of it.
No, no. Okay, so my bad. I didn't probably explain myself correctly. I'm not
Okay,
saying,
so let's go at it again.
yes. I'm not saying spirit is fearful. No, I'm not saying that. But when we bring the conversation about fear and anxiety, we're not saying that spirit is fear, but
That's
acting
all
in
of the human being and the human experience. That has nothing to do with spirit.
yes, but that's what I mean. We talk about
Okay.
that the solution is spirit,
Yes,
right?
there we go.
Yeah,
Okay, the solution is
there we
spirit.
go,
Yes.
right? And right, when we talk about fear, spirit always comes to the solution. Not that spirit is fear, but that spirit is the solution to fear, right?
Yes.
But and that's the thing. Not only is a solution to fear, is a solution for fear.
Actually, trust is the solution to fear. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Trusting
yes.
yourself.
I mean, yeah. I
Remove
mean, if
all fear.
I feel like the majority of things people end up fearing is things that haven't happened yet, only in their mind. and it became so real because like people literally like look like I fully believe that people tell themselves the same story, same story, and the one story they're telling their mind, there's nobody to counter argument that, right?
Well, so many people are so into creating these fictitious images of their outcomes before actually living them that they create destruction before even, you know, I hear way too many people going, oh, well, this is going to happen if I do this. And then they say, okay, well, you see, I told you. And I'm like, nah, you fucking idiot. You created it to be like that. You know?
Absolutely. Just with your heart sensor.
Yeah.
Just with your heart sensor. Just with your heart sensor. Just having that little anxiety, you're already shifting the possibility of the outcome.
Yeah.
Because this thing, like a lot of people, they're like, oh, there's this probability and stuff. And I'm like, look, there's no probability. If you're gonna say it like that, and you're not gonna show any enthusiasm, forget the probability. You're just saying that as a way to make it work in your mind. And if it doesn't work, you're gonna say, oh, I did everything that was possible, but you fucking did.
Well, that's
And
the
so,
difference between running between highest potential and programming. Right there. You just explained it.
yeah.
Facts. Any kind of, when you're running from your highest potential, there is zero doubt, zero limitation, zero restriction because none of your organs know that. And none of the force of your being does either. So when it comes into fear, doubt, shame, blame, guilt, denial, all of that shit functioning from programming.
Bro, like, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but it would be kind of cool to talk about this. Apparently, our organs, it's almost like they have a brain as well.
Of course they do. They all have a systematic thing. The heart is the first brain, bro. Everything knows what it has to do without you putting any consciousness on it. Hey, is Irina live? Did Irina just go live?
Don't know.
Yes, the art of sensuality. Okay, yo, I want to wrap up this live to go support her.
No.
I've been on here for a minute. I love you, bro. We'll come back out here and do this more later, but I want to go and get on her episode to show her some love and support.
Now, I have to go anyways because I have people in here. And so, I want to go be with them and, receive them well in my home.
I love you. Enjoy your time.
Okay.
And we will hook up later.
No, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, sure. No problem.
We'll hook up later, bro. I love you. Enjoy your family visits. But I just want to go support Irina too because we've been out here for a minute. Love you, bro.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hold on, bye. Bye.